The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by W. What is W? W is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. W contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. W's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by W, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. W's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. W Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. Hello, everybody. Good morning. It is a Wednesday. It's going to be a short show, just getting ahead of you on that one because I got to go to work. I got stuff I got to do, but it's okay. I am here with you for the next 30 minutes, which means at the 15-minute mark, we will hit the Just the Tip segment. So, Tommy, if you're driving around with the kids in the car, now would be a good time. Make sure you got that timer set. In 12 minutes, it's going to hit you across the forehead. That was not meant to be that way, but I'm glad it came out that way. My dude, Brian Arndt, saying good morning, Tip. Good morning, Strilla. Hope that you are having yourself a fantastic day so far today. I got some stuff coming up, here with the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. We are going to be joining the Under the Hood podcast channel. We're going to be hanging out with my dude, Jonathan Hood. That'll be Monday through Friday, same time, doing all the same stuff that we're doing here, just another place where you can get the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. You know what they always say? It's better to have more tip than less tip. I'm sure there's some sort of innuendo there that I can think of, but I am dog tired right now. We are so to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit. Those that know that I work with the El Paso Chihuahuas and the El Paso Locomotive. I'm in the production area, moving the cameras around, doing all that good stuff, audio, video, my life, right? Whenever we transition from baseball to soccer, we have to, and it's not me, but like the whole team, our grounds crew is out there, laying sod in the infield, in the dirt and stuff like that, so that way the soccer team can play and go do their thing. We have to move cameras around. We have to check different audio sources. We have to get ready for the TV broadcast, the in-bowl broadcast, all these other little things like that are going on. This game today is going to be on Sirius XM, so I've got to make sure Sirius XM has their own audio channel. There's a lot of other stuff. I'm sure I'm boring people with what happens with that. But normally we have about a good, baseball ends on Sunday. You got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then your game on Saturday. So 6 days in between. This time, baseball ended on Sunday. We had Monday, Tuesday, game today. So it was a truncated, faster way of trying to get this stuff done, while also, some of the upgrades that we did to the stadium, we're working on making sure we get all that stuff taken care of. Don't need to pull it back too far, but I just wanted to let y'all know the reasoning as to why these last two shows have been a little short. I know there's some people out there that looked at the schedule and said, Tip, there's not a Chihuahuas Day game. Why is the stuff so short right now? And I said, look, I'm giving you some tip. I'm just the tip, not the whole thing, just the tip. That's what we're doing right now. But again, I hope to see you all out there at Southwest University Park today as the El Paso Locomotive are taking on Tulsa FC. Can't watch it there? Check it out on ESPN Plus. If you're out of town, I know I do have a support group that's out of town. If you want to check out what your boy's doing, I'm not on the broadcast, but I am, the behind-the-scenes guy there. Check it out. ESPN Plus is where you can check it out with the El Paso Locomotive. Or maybe you're driving, you can't watch TV. Go check it out on SiriusXM. That's enough. That's enough of talking about that part of my job. I want to talk about what I saw yesterday, which was an absolutely dominating performance-ish by the San Antonio Spurs. My San Antonio Spurs. I was going to be super annoying today, wearing the Spurs hat, Spurs jersey, all that. There's still time. I might do it before I go to work. Who knows? I just didn't want to look like a nerd wearing all that stuff, walking my kids to school right now. Victor Wembanyama is showing you why he could be the most dominant player in the NBA. Like there's really that possibility right there. And I'm not saying it just because I'm a Spurs fan. There is no way you can watch what he does and say to yourself, he does not impact the game in every single aspect that the game is played. Blocking shots, great defensively, helps out his teammate, doing all of that stuff, right? And then, like Strilla said, he's a human cheat code. He really is. I see Wemby do stuff, and I'll just look around and be like, it's unfair. It's not fair that Victor Wembanyama is able to do all this stuff. Like, how do you stop that? The only thing that was able to neutralize it was Nikola Jokic with that shot from way the hell back here that he releases behind his head and somehow is able to drain from 9,000 feet away. That's the only shot that I've seen that Wemby can't get to. And if Wemby can't get to it, fucking nobody can get to it. But Victor Wembanyama, amazing defensively. If he was just a defensive player, every single person in the NBA would be like, damn, that's a really damn good player. He would be an all-star caliber, even just based off of his defense, an MVP type candidate. And then you have the ball handling. You have the shooting ability, the post-up ability. Whenever he decides he wants to get into the paint, there is no way you can stop him. You have a big on Wemby out at the wing, and he's just going to blow right by that guy. Easy dunk, easy layup, more than likely going to be fouled because there's just so much of him to try to foul. Then you guard him with a small on the perimeter, saying, okay, well, we're not going to let Wemby get by us, right? We're just not going to let that happen. He's not going to make easy buckets. He pulls up and then drains a three because a dude that's 6'10", small guy, cannot guard him out there. Can't contest that shot. Can't do any of that. It is insane to me. And again, I'm one of these people, I am fearful for, can the career be sustainable for Victor Wembanyama? Can he really, make a long-term impact? These first couple of years are awesome. But then I kind of think about what happens to all big men as they get, older. I think of Yao, right? Yao was a dominating, unstoppable force. But then he had the feet issues, he had this, he had that, whatever it might be. I do look at Victor Wembanyama, and I do know that he is a little more pliable. He does yoga, he does all those stretching things, just all that stuff to keep his body nice and limber. But I have to sit there and question to myself, is it sustainable? Is Victor Wembanyama playing a long-term career sustainable? Because right now he's reliant upon otherworldly athletic ability and the God-given gift of being 7'5", which I think we all know he's not 7'5". He seems taller than that. I don't know why they lie about his height or whatever, but I'm just some guy. What do I know? Can he sustain long-term in the NBA? That's my question. The other question that I have is I was watching the broadcast yesterday, and I'm listening to Doris Burke do the call. And those who don't know, I do love Doris Burke. I think she is a great basketball analyst. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are like, Tip, you're an idiot, whatever. I'll deal with it. I don't care. But I was watching that broadcast, and Doris kept talking about how the Spurs are a championship caliber team. And I want to push back on that. My dude, Tommy Cananza, tuning in saying, good morning, Tip. Good morning, Tommy. Just giving you the warning right now. Short show, just the tip at 8:15. Just the tip at 8:15. Tommy saying, Skrilla, good morning, bro. Glad to see that I got my people in the chat. It always makes me happy. I don't know why. It always makes me happy. Thank you all. Thank you all for the support. Getting back to what I was talking about. Tommy, you come in here and just derail the show? This is professional. Oh, man. Okay, so, again, I'm watching the broadcast yesterday, and then I hear Doris Burke talking about the San Antonio Spurs and their ability to maybe win a championship. And again, you guys know that I've been a little apprehensive on this. It's not because I'm pessimistic. I try to think of myself as a pretty optimistic kind of guy, but I'm also super realistic. I don't think the Spurs are going to win the championship this year. If they do, I'm a happy guy. Everyone knows that I would be happy. Prove me wrong. I'm more than willing to come on here and be like, my bad, mea culpa. I apologize. I just don't think that they have it up here yet, right? Like, I don't think they have it up here mentally just yet. There was a lot of unnecessary turnovers that team has. There's a lot of weird ISO that they do that they shouldn't do. There's a maturity level there that is lacking that I would love to see them be able to build during this playoff run that I just don't think they'll be able to do. Whenever you watch that game yesterday and you see Stephon Castle foul out with 9 minutes left in the game because he let Denny Advia get into his head. Denny Advia is not a great player. Like, yes, he's super annoying, all that stuff. Maybe he's just doing what he does. But if you're Stephon Castle, you got to be smarter than that. Stephon Castle picked up his second personal foul with 2 minutes into the third quarter and then fouled out less than a quarter after that. Like that's just not winning basketball. And if you're the Spurs, as you move forward in the NBA Finals, whenever you face up against OKC, whenever you face up against some of these other teams, you have to be able to have your full roster of weapons available to you. Shooting yourself in the foot and fouling out of the game with 9 minutes left to go in the game for the San Antonio Spurs for Stephon Castle is not going to be a recipe for success. And there's even times there where it's like Wemby has the ball and he wants to get to the rim. He gets triple teamed, quadruple teamed, and instead of passing out to one of his open guys, tries to force up a shot looking for the foul and doesn't get the foul call. It's just that little mental, again, I know it's old school, but I feel like I'm one of these dudes that always leans on, in order for you to get to that championship mentality, you got to take your lumps. And I feel like the Spurs, despite all the talent they have, are going to be one of those teams that has to take that lump. And it's going to be ugly for them. But if there's one guy that I know that can bounce back, it's going to be Victor Wembanyama. He has that Jordan, I took it personal mindset. Could you imagine what happens to Wemby if he loses in game 7 of the conference finals? If he loses in game 7 of the NBA finals? Just what type of monster that would create from within? He missed half the season last year and decided he needed to take care of himself mentally and became a monk. That's the type of dude that he is. Imagine what happens if he loses in game 7 of the NBA finals or the Western Conference finals. Just more motivation for that alien to figure out a way to dominate the league more than he already is. Tommy saying, not the Spurs. Absolutely hating on the Spurs. I know it. I know. Strill saying you're cherry picking, Tip. Stop. The Spurs are going to win the finals. How's that cherry picking? That's not me cherry picking, man. Again, I love basketball. I watch so much probably too much basketball. The world around me, my head is a basketball. I'm wearing orange right now. I'm a big fat guy. I'm shaped like a basketball. I look like a basketball. Get that killer mentality. You had at one point a 28-point lead in the third quarter. You let that team in the Portland Trailblazers, which is not a great team. They're not bad by any means, but they are not a great team. They're not a great shooting team. You let them come back and get within 9. Sure, you end the game, and it's, a bigger gap than what it was 5 minutes left in the game. You cannot allow a team like Oklahoma City to be able to come back. Because if Oklahoma City is down 28 and they come back within 9, Oklahoma City is going to win that game. Portland, again, their first go-around with this, they didn't even have Damian Lillard. Imagine if Dame is out there. Now you got to worry about that. It's just that mental piece right there. That's what I think is missing with the San Antonio Spurs. All the talent in the world. I would not be surprised. Okay, let me take that back. I would be a little surprised if the San Antonio Spurs won the NBA championship this year. But I just don't see it. Strel saying, did they win the championship? Did they win the series? Okay, enough said. I mean, yes, they won the series. And they dominated the series. But they did let Portland back a little bit. Tommy's saying, let's go Lakers, and I can't believe he said that. You can even see right there, it had to be tough to come out, too. Like, let's go Lakers. I think that's the way that Tommy did it. Tommy couldn't, I can't believe you did that, Tommy. Like you couldn't get the whole thing out. And you were gagging like it was just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Remember, it's rocket science for where the sun don't shine. Guys, it's getting hot out there. You want to make sure you get yourself taken care of. Go get that comfort cream, slather it all over your boys so you ain't got to do the stanky leg while you're walking around these hot-ass summers, whether it's in Texas, whether it's in Detroit, whether it's Seattle, wherever it is. It's going to get hot. It's going to get muggy. You want to make sure your boys are taken care of. Maybe you're a nerd who wants to say, okay, I don't want to put my hands all over my boys before I go out and meet people. First off, wash your damn hands, you gross-ass MF. And 2, we have the comfort powder. Just pull your XXX undies open a little bit, sprinkle that powder downstairs, and boom, you're taken care of all day long. No more stanky leg, no more walking to the outside, none of that nonsense. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all of your male grooming needs. Wash your hands, you gross ass. Bistro saying it was a tune-up series for the Spurs. Ooh, you want to see how this goes? Look at this. I'm getting a phone call right now in the middle of the show. Let's see how this goes. Hello. Good morning. How are you today? I am great. I'm in the middle of my show, so I decided I was going to put you on air because you called me in the middle of it. Yes. We're talking about the San Antonio Spurs. What are your thoughts? The San Antonio Spurs are a great team is what she's saying so far, everyone. Excellent. Yep, no worries. Thank you. Thank you, bye. I love making people feel awkward. I absolutely love it. Oh, man, I could hear the pain in the voice. And again, I get it. Most people don't understand that I've got a life and things like that. But you know what? I like to embarrass people. That was completely unnecessary, but just know, I used to do this whenever I had the radio show on. And it bothered me so much because I would have, I'm in the studio. You have the on-air light. It's big and red, and it says on air. And I would have salespeople walk in the middle of the show. I'm sitting here talking, right? We're talking about the LA Lakers. Salesperson comes in and is like, hey, I need to talk to you about XYZ, sits down, And all I do is turn on their microphone and say, well, since you sat down in the middle of the show and didn't bother looking at that light that says on air, now you've got to do a segment with me. And you know what the crazy part about it is? They never learned. They never learned that the show was at 5 p.m. They never learned it. They would just show up in the middle of it. It was wild. But yes, it was a tune-up series for the Spurs. I'm glad that my San Antonio Spurs were able to go ahead and get themselves a little bit of rest here, because I do think that the Spurs would be the better team against Minnesota. I don't trust Minnesota. Denver scares me. I will say that. Denver does scare me. And again, maybe it's just me being, petrified of my own shadow or anything of that nature, but the Spurs did win 30 of 34, and 3 of those 4 losses that they had at the end of the season were against the Denver Nuggets. So Jokic does scare me a little bit. You have to be terrified of Jokic no matter what happens. But the Spurs and OKC move on. Game 6 with the Nuggets and Timberwolves is tomorrow. That's going to be, I want to say, in Minnesota. Game 5 of the Lakers and Rockets is tonight. Tommy's LA Lakers taking on the Houston Rockets tonight. Can Luka and them boys? Austin Reeves is supposed to come back. There's a possibility of him coming back. And tonight, the Orlando Magic, I can't even say it. The Orlando Magic have the possibility of ending the Detroit Pistons season. I am mind blown at how this series has gone. I expect so much more from Detroit. I hope Detroit can find a way to win this. Let's push it to 6 or 7. Wow. I'm so glad that there were not kids listening at that point in time. I actively go out of my mind to not say those 2 numbers together. I've moved on. Instead of saying those 2 numbers, I'll be like 7 and 8. I'll force myself, or 5 and 6. I try my best to not say those 2 numbers together. We have a camera at the stadium that looks just for that. Strilla, how are we feeling about your Pistons today, buddy? If you're still watching, if you're still part of what we're doing, how are you feeling about your Detroit Pistons? Because I'm not saying 3-1 is insurmountable, but man, you made it so much tougher on yourself than you needed to, especially against the Magic. And the Magic are an okay team. The Cavs and Raptors play a little bit later on today as well. The 76ers beat the Boston Celtics yesterday, so they move another game, game 6 here. The Celtics got, kind of slapped around there. A little slapped around there. The Knicks beat the Hawks, so the Knicks have a 3-2 lead in that series. I want all these series to go 7 just because it helps the Spurs out. It also helps out OKC, so I guess I don't necessarily want that. Strill saying that he's feeling 50-50 about it. Tommy threw up a little bit whenever I said that it was his LA Lakers, but you're doing it for Luka. You can't spell Luka without LA. I guess you also can't spell LA Lakers without Luka. So, well, I guess there's no U there, is there? Nope, there is no U. Never mind. I'm an idiot. I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to spell. I graduated from Socorro High School. Don't judge me. But you can't spell LA, or you can't spell Luka without LA. Oh. I still can't. And again, it's not me trying to harp on the Pistons or anything. I cannot believe this with that team. They're much better than what they have shown so far. They really are. And I was hoping and expecting to get the the Detroit Pistons in the NBA Finals versus my San Antonio Spurs. I thought it would be fun. If the Pistons wind up falling to the Orlando Magic, it is the easiest road to the NBA Finals for the Boston Celtics. And if they find a way to fumble this, it'll be just like the Buffalo Bills fumbling their chance to get to a Super Bowl in this year's playoffs. The Boston Celtics cannot fumble this. They just cannot fumble this. NFL news that I wanted to get to. The Jets are considering Russell Wilson as their backup quarterback. Strillo saying unforced turnovers and Duran being a little bitch are killing the Pistons. Wow. Just went straight for his jugular. I agree. And that's the thing that I've noticed again, right? The Pistons are a young team, a very young team. We're in the playoffs last year. You were expecting to step forward this year because they took their lump last year, right? But for whatever reason, it just seems like they didn't take that step forward. And like that mental part of the game is lacking for the Detroit Pistons. Is it time for Russell Wilson to just hang it up? It kind of feels like it is, right? If he had retired, 3 years ago or so, he'd still be considered a Hall of Fame quarterback. I still think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, but now I don't think it's first ballot. I was on the bandwagon here thinking, for a while that Russell Wilson was like a first ballot Hall of Famer. And the more I think about this, the more I'm like, man, yes, he's a Hall of Famer, but is he going to make it on that first ballot? Because these last, 6 years for Russ have just not been good. And it's not like he's geriatric, right? And then you have to push against that with like, okay, well, let's see how good Drew Brees was whenever he was super old, how great Tom Brady was whenever he was super old. Why is it that Russ just isn't that good right now, right? It's got to be time to hang it up if you're Russell Wilson. Like Russell Wilson being the backup quarterback for the Jets? For the Jets? So he's behind Justin Fields? Is that who the quarterback for the Jets is right now? I've got to look this up. Geno Smith. Well, I haven't a Justin Fields. Wow, I've been out of it. Geno Smith, Brady Cook, Bailey Zappi. Strillo saying, isn't it ironic that the Jets have the Seahawks quarterback lineup, Wilson and Geno? Yeah, right? Just a couple of years after Seattle was like, you know what, Russ, that's a lot of money. We're going to trade you over to Denver. Spends a couple of years in Denver. Denver's like, nah, bro, we ain't going to do it. Pittsburgh picks him up. Pittsburgh's like, whatever. Goes over to the Giants. Had a pretty decent year, I thought, with the Giants. A good start with the Giants. But now just bouncing around, right? This is going to be his fifth team? That's crazy, man. For Russell Wilson? The fifth team for Russell Wilson? Striller reminded me that Justin Fields went to Kansas City. That's going to be hilarious. Justin Fields is going to go to Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes comes back. Fields remains as the backup quarterback. And then Justin Fields will be a Super Bowl winning quarterback one of these years if he just sticks with Kansas City and Kansas City's able to rebuild. Justin Fields, Super Bowl winning quarterback. Just like Sam Darnold, Super Bowl winning quarterback. Bailey Zappi, though. And then if you're Russ, do you want to back up Geno? Is there a big gulf between Geno and Russ? Is there really? I don't feel like there is. I feel like Russ has a better deep ball than what Geno has. And if you're going to be bad, at least be fun to watch. So for me, just let Justin Fields, or not Justin Fields, let Russell Wilson drop back and try to throw as many bombs as he possibly can to Garrett Wilson, right? They're not going to be a good team. They're still going to be the worst team in the division, I feel. Well, maybe Miami. Maybe Miami might give them a little run for who's going to be worse there. But you're not going to be a playoff contending team if you're the Jets. So if you're going to be bad, at least be fun to watch. At least be competitive. I don't feel like you're going to get that with Geno Smith. Shrill saying Geno has better accuracy. Wilson has a stronger arm. I don't even know if we could say that Geno has the accuracy, man. Last year, it was bad for the Raiders. At least whenever Russ was there, and maybe it was just the lineup that the Giants had. You just had a bunch of speedsters running down the field. Maybe that's all Russ needs is put a bunch of wide receivers, nothing but go routes, and let's go. I hope you guys are working on your cardio right now because Russ is going to run you. Strill saying, well, last year aside. Yes, I agree. With last year aside, Geno did all right. All right, everybody. Once again, a little bit of a short show today. I apologize for that, but we'll have a full show for you tomorrow. Come on out to Southwest University Park today. Remember El Paso Locomotive in action versus Tulsa FC. Hopefully I'll see you out there. If you can't go out there and watch the game in person, watch the game on ESPN Plus or listen to it on Sirius XM. I'll figure out what channel it's going to be on Sirius XM. But, it's on Sirius XM. All right, everybody. Once again, thank you for the love and support. I appreciate each and every one of you. We will see you all tomorrow.